This is how this painting started, a background in which I organized my characters over, expanding the scene as I kept adding to it. The initial idea here was to paint the moment after a difficult fight took place, and I wanted to have a tower casting a shadow over the surviving characters, and well, we have Daehan, Azael, and Eru sitting in front of a crumbling tower, which is meant to say something about their spirits as well. As much as the building is broken and almost falling down, so are the characters, right? But they are not defeated yet. And this is pretty much how I felt at the time as well. Beaten up. Everything around me was just gray. It has been more than a year by now, and the feeling still lingers. Time to add those colors. And as you can see, I simply made a new layer over everything, set the opacity a little bit lower so I could see the drawing, and started with some crude shapes. And that's about it, you know. I'm thinking of how those characters that initially would look under neutral lighting, so later on I have enough room to play around with how they look in this ambient. And as I usually do, gradient map and a layer on overlay mode so I can add some pretty lighting to everything. I feel like overlay is one of my favorite layer modes because it really makes the color pop in a very unique way. And initially I thought of a sun-setting time of day, right? But I ended up making the sky very bright because I wanted to have this contrast with this very dense scene, because there are dead people there, right? The heroes are fucked up, but the sky is super pretty and we can see the distance vistas and buildings far on the horizon. And that really got me thinking of this world I'm building, right? Because it's very fun to create characters and this whole world and eventually get to put things together, right? Because this creature, he was just a big guy concept art, for instance, like this humanoid armored thing. It was just a concept. I had the ideas and the story and the background for them, but what else, right? And here, putting things together just make this place feel so much real for me. So we have the structure and we have the colors. So it's time to add form to the whole thing. Ever since I finished this painting, I haven't done much for this project of mine. In part, I think life got in the way, and you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And also, I can't properly explain, but I feel very disconnected from everything. And I don't mean only this project, I mean my art in general, I think. And then I've just been working, like that's the kind of art I've been doing, you know, because I never stopped being an artist. That's my job and my passion, and I just kept doing, right? So there's plenty of work of mine out there, and I've done a lot of things that I'm immensely grateful for. But when it comes to my presence in my own work, yeah, I don't see that as much anymore. And this is a very sad realization. As much as I wanted to be like, hey, if you're feeling disconnected from the art you do, here's the things you should try, you know, like, nah, I don't have any of that. And still, that's okay, I think, I believe, I hope. It is but a passing moment. As I kept painting this, you will see that I eventually expand the canvas a little bit, because there wasn't enough room for me to do. A very interesting thing that I thought about while painting this, there's this whole battle that happened, and the heroes are, again, they're hurt. But what happened? You know, there are those mages on the ground, and in my head they are like those blood sorcerers that use some forbidden magic, and I'm like, well, how does that happen? You know, what is this magic? How does that affect the battleground? And that's when I started to think about ways to add some element of this battle, of this magic in the scene. start off with some crystallized shapes, but then I started trying this out and realized I could do some more than just making pointy shapes coming from the ground. So I thought of trees, you know, because blood is related to life and trees, and a tree made of blood, of course, why not? Let's make it like there are roots coming out of the ground and destroying everything around them, and they kinda like the Thorn magic of Elden Ring, if you ever played that. Yeah, and that was about it. So I imagined this fight taking place, and there's this scent, this metallic scent in the air, and maybe the heroes got accustomed to it by the end of the battle, so they're still chilling in the same place. That was my last painting of 2023, and the personal work there recently was the reason I started working on things I only ever dreamed of. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want to come along for the adventure, subscribe, consider joining my Patreon, and I'll see you next time. Get yourself some fresh water, stretch that back, and enjoy the process of getting to where you want to be in the future. Thanks again, and ciao ciao.